It's our girl Taj. I'm back with another story time. This is actually five different story times in one. I feel like I'm dragging today. I feel tired. But anyways, that's beside the point. So I'm gonna do five different CNA stories times. You guys don't know this, but I was a CNA. I worked as a CNA for like 3 to 4 years. My license is still active, but I don't work. So first one in. It's called, oh yeah, remember, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, all that catastrophic with two T's. Okay. Oh, and YouTube, obviously. Snapchat as well. And Threads. Follow me on it all. So, the first story is called lockdown stitch, a poopy lockdown stitch. Okay, so this was my very, 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 very first time working as a CNA. I remember this day so clearly. I even have like a video from this day, which I will post. This had to be one of the strangest days of my life. And like when I tell you it was probably the most mellow, like CNA day that I've had, I mean it with my whole entire chest. Like, I don't know what it is about that job, but like, it's just, you be ended up in situations that are just so weird. So anyways, ooh, which that kind of just reminded me of something because funny enough, I was doing what do they call it? Not internship, but I had somebody like I was like training. So I had like somebody training me for the day. They assigned me with another CNA that's been there longer, and she was training me for the day. We can call her Witch. I was working with Witch, and Witch was training me for the day or whatever. So she was just showing me the ropes at a facility. If you're a CNA in one facility, you could be a CNA anywhere else because like you're pretty much doing the same exact thing. The same like type of things every day. There's like protocols that you follow, but like for certain stuff you'd want to know, like for example, where's the supply closet, cleaning closet, bathrooms, and all that stuff. So Witch was showing me where all these stuff were in our facility, and I was just going through. She was showing me how she it was 3 to 11 by the way, so she was showing me like what she does because like on 3 to 11 you only have one food time, which is like the residents eat. So she was just showing me how she breaks up her day because on that shift like you do the most showers or whatever. So she was showing me like her schedule. So the first thing she did, she had me walking around. We were going through, each like the dining room, how she sets up for dinner and stuff like that. How she'll bathe some clients at the beginning of the day, some at the end of the day. And I don't know what it was about this day because even like the whole time that I worked in that facility, there wasn't really like a lot of times where the call lights were like going all. The call lights is what the residents press to let us know that they're there. The call lights weren't like they need us to come. The call lights weren't going off as crazy as they were that day, or maybe just because I was new to it, it just seemed so overwhelming. But I swear to you guys, no, like them call lights were going off like nuts. So they were going off and going off and going off or whatever. And there was one specific call light going off, and she's like went up to. We had a telephone that was divided. So it wasn't really like a telephone. It was specifically designed for the building, where if somebody presses the call light button in the system, she could turn it off. And so for that specific resident, when it went up, which you're not supposed to do this, which is why like there's many reasons why I call her witch. She's a witch. Like you're not supposed to do that. And every time like the person rings, you're like locking it off. So like there's a specific, she's like, I'm not even gonna check that lady right now because when I go check her, I love her, but I'm gonna be in her room all day. I said, okay. And that's not even how she talks. I gave her a nice voice. She talks like this. That's how she used to talk. So like I play too much. That's how she used to talk. And so she's like, I'm turning her, you're not supposed to do this, but I'm turning her call light like off because she always rings like even if she doesn't need anything, and like she just wants me to go in there and talk with her. I was like, okay, cool, I don't have any problem with that. But like I did, but like I couldn't do anything. She was training me or whatever. I was there since 3, and I think probably to about like 4. It was probably like 5 o'clock by the time she actually was cleaning. Did a first change on most of her residents, and she was just like, okay, I'm gonna go into the room and see what she needs. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. Y'all, when we were walking near to the room, which she had her assignment split up on 2 different hallways, so she didn't like it didn't hit us at the time. But tell me how when we went into this lady's room, to down the hallway near to this lady's room, we started smelling something. And if you already know, if you in a facility and you start smelling something bad, it's bad. Like you already know it's like a shit storm in there, all right? So we were smelling something. She was like, oh my God, what does that smell? She opens the door to the room, right? And she's like, oh my God. By that time, like the smell just like jumped out on the hallway. And I was like, wait, what happened? She said, you look, she closed the door. She's like, look for yourself. Y'all, why I opened the door? Y'all, why did I open the door? This resident put shit everywhere in the room. She put her feces everywhere in the room. She spread it like here. It was like on her TV, on her TV remote, on the floor, on the end of the bed, on her neighbors, her roommates, on her roommates' bed. It was everywhere. And I looked like, and that lady was looking at me. She just turned around and she was just, I was like, what the hell? She closed back the door. That lady started cussing like instantly. She was so ticked off. Y'all, like, I wish I was being dramatic. This lady had shit in her, like, hair. Like, she had poop in her hair. Like, everywhere you could think of, she had it. Under her nails for days. That room was, it was just a mess. Like, I was like, I can't believe I got invited to this shit show. Like, I didn't know, like, there was gonna be such a shitty situation going on. Like, I didn't know I was in desert shitstorm. Like, there was just Operation Shitstorm. Like, there was just so much going on. And so, like, I'm gonna skip part of the story, but we ended up, before I skip part of the story, and that was like pretty much it. Obviously, you know what we had to do, we had to clean it up, but those two people, you know how they say, like, as it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. I swear that lady and those two exact same ladies are the reason that I left that facility. Like, they were the exact reason. They accused me of doing something, and I left the facility. And I showed my ass when I was leaving that day too. But I didn't feel too bad because even like the DON and the lady that the DON and the lady that walked me out and fired me, they both got walked out. Well, one of the manager got walked out. DON quit shortly after because they were doing flaw stuff over there too. But yeah, so at the end of that day, now the part that I have a video of is, okay, we're done for the day. It's pretty much getting slow. We have like 4 hours before it's time to go home. So like we already did showers and everything. And I was there pretty much chilling, and I just got done having lunch. Tell me how all of a sudden I just heard a siren start going off. And it was loud, y'all. And like, I don't know if you know this, but in a medical facility, you have to have doors that enter each hallway. And when when sirens start going off, the likelihood is that those doors are gonna lock. Why are those doors gonna lock? Because either somebody's intruding, someone's trying to leave, or there's a fire. Y'all tell me how one of the radiators at in somebody's room started smoking up, and it made the fire sensor go off. Thank God they worked. And then the fire sensors went off, and it locked each door. So you're locked in the hallway where you are. Like, you get locked unless you're in the common area. Then you'll get locked in the common area where you can't access the hallways pretty much. But it locked down. So then I was just there walking around in the hallway with that shit going off, and it was just so loud. And that was only my first day of working as a CNA. So that was a short, not so short husband. Story number 2 is this story is called "I Love My Husband and He Is Rich." Not really a story, but more of like a tale of kind of like some stuff that you could expect going in as a CNA. I don't know what it is. Every facility that I've worked at, every office that I've worked at, anywhere that I've worked at as a CNA, I don't know what it is. There's always going to be a delusional lady there. There's like many, but there's always one that is just a little bit more delusional than the rest, where like even the residents are like, yeah, that lady is off. Like, she's off her rocker. So at our specific facility, there was this lady. I'm gonna call her Gemma. And Gemma, she's a black lady, by the way. Gemma used to always, I don't know what it was. When I first met Gemma, I thought she was cool because like me, Gemma was Jamaican. So me and Gemma were there talking, and I was like, yeah, it's nice to see another Jamaican because you could show me the ropes or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I can show you the ropes and blah, 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 blah. But y'all, it took me little to no time to realize that Gemma was a little bit on the Delulu side, because when I was with Gemma, she was like, come with me to her car. That was the first thing we did. Same 3 to 11 shift, same facility. She was like, come to me, because I was kind of like already, at this time, I was already pretty like well into the place or whatever. So it was just nice meeting another person. So she was like, hey, come with me to my car. And I was like, okay, cool. So I came with her to her car. I drive an old car, y'all. I have a 2003 Toyota Camry. So I have no problems with older cars. But Gemma's car must have been from like 1996 or some shit. Her shit was old. There would be nothing wrong with that if not for the fact, you know how you have a friend that is always like, my man, my man, my man. Every second she's talking about her man. That was Gemma. And Gemma had like the same like lines that she would always repeat about her man. I love my husband and we just got married. And I would never expect to see myself with a white guy. But now I'm with my white husband and he just loves me so much. He loves me unconditionally. And I appreciate him so much. And girl, he's a millionaire. My man's a millionaire. He has so much money. Does he not share it with you? Why why are you with this man and you keep saying he's a millionaire and he's not sharing it with you? I was like, really? I was like, girl, you need to tell him to buy you a car because, y'all, I'm bold. I'm bold with the stuff that I be thinking. And I was like, girl, you need to tell him to buy you a car. She's like, girl, he is going to buy me a car. He told me he's going to buy me a car. Y'all, when I tell you I worked at that facility for like 9 months, at the beginning, it was like 1 month in, she was telling me all this stuff. Y'all, when I tell you by the time I left the facility, she still ain't get the car. So like, that's just another thing you got to like be wary of, is like, you're going to meet some delusional people. And it's like the funniest thing to me. Like, I don't know how they could be so, you know, like off the rocker and they're taking care of people's family, you know? So that's number 2. And the next one is a little spooky, Lil Jon. So like, okay, one day, I feel like every facility you go, you'll hear people talking about like, there's some type of spooky thing, like something there that's like a little spooky. I mean, like, you could kind of expect it because you're mostly in older buildings where lots of people have died in, right? So, we were there. This is when I was at a next facility, not like the one that I was in the first 2 stories. This one had like 2 separate buildings, and this building was actually old. It was like a hotel, I believe, back in the day. And they turned it into a nursing home. So we were there chilling one night, and I used to love when I was working with this group because it was like a whole bunch of black girls, and the 2 nurses were some white nurses, but the CNAs were a whole bunch of black girls, and we were really close with each other, and we would make jokes and stuff all the time. So we were there, and we were chilling. We were pretty much done with all our rounds, and we were working the 11 to 7 shift. So this is late night. So all we do is change our residents pretty much, and then probably just get them up for breakfast in the morning. So, and I like clean up their room and stuff, make sure they're tidy or whatever. So we were pretty much done with all of that. It was around 3 o'clock, and all of a sudden we started hearing a creaking, and it was like, like it was just loud, and it was making noise, and it was like consistent. So we were like, they're talking, so it'd be like, we're talking, and we're like, yeah, girl, blah, 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 and then we heard a noise, and we stopped, and we were like, we just started looking around because we were trying to figure out what that was. Said the nurse that was there was 2 nurses there. Both of them were some older white ladies. So I made a joke, and I told one of them, I was like, Marissa, that's not her name. I'm making all these names up, by the way. I'm like, Marissa, you're gonna have to go check that out because all of us here are black and you're white, and white people never die first in movies. And she was like, she started laughing, and I'm like, in scary movies, white people never die like that. Like, y'all don't die first at least. Like, so if one of us were to go check it out, we'd all die or whatever. And then so she was like, I'll go check it. You guys are a bunch of scary pussies or whatever. And so we're like, okay. So she's like, Tosh, come with me. Girl, why would you invite me? I just told you, I set you up. But I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go. The nurse, I took my scared ass up. Me and the nurse, the white lady, ended up going down the hall. And we were like slowly walking and looking in each room because we were trying to figure out what was making that loud ass sound. We finally reached one book and one room, and when we passed by, we like glanced over, seen the 2 men were in the room. But then we walked away. We literally walked away. We looked. It was like a cartoon. We looked at each other at the same time. Like, when we look back, y'all, tell me how it was this Jamaican man. He gives so much trouble in the facility. Like, he a little spoiled or whatever. He had pressed the remote button, and he put his bed way up in the sky. Like, it was high. Like, literally all his bed probably went up to like right here on me. Like, it went up pretty high. This man was there playing with the flipping remote. Like, why would he do this? Like, it was just so weird because we were frightened. So when I looked at him, I was like, yo, Pops, like, why are you doing this or whatever? There was another name we called him, but I was like, Pops, why are you doing this or whatever? And he's like, I want yogurt or whatever. Like, I want Jello, I want juice, I want something. He always wanted something, like just something random. So there was that. And so we ended up going back down the hall. We put his bed down. We were there, put his remote away from him. And then we were there laughing about it or whatever. And everybody else was laughing. So then we sat there, and then this one nurse, we're going to call her Bethany. Bethany was like, there's a handprint. Bethany always did this. Bethany always had insight, and there will always be a nurse like Bethany. Bethany is just like a lady that lived her whole life and didn't do what she was supposed to do. And then so she ended up turning into an LPN real late in life, and then she just found a good facility where she could just run it how she wants to run it type shit. But she's like not the DON, but she's always like the nurse in charge when she's there or whatever. Because she's like a go-getter now, but she retired and everything, and then she started working back or whatever. So Bethany was there, and she just started smiling or whatever, and I'm like, well, here she goes. She about to say something. Anytime Bethany she had this look. Anytime Bethany gave this look, you just knew she was finna say something crazy. She looked at us, she's like, you guys are so scared. There's a there's a handprint down the hallway. We're like, oh my God. We're like, Bethany, what are you talking about? She said, on one of the walls, there's a handprint. No matter how many times they paint over it, you're going to see a handprint. And she showed us the handprint. Y'all, I swear while I was there, they painted that damn facility. And I'm telling you, you could still see the handprint. It bleeds through. I don't know who touched it with what, but it continuously bleeds through. Now on to the next story. This is story number 4. And this one is just a common theme. I don't know what it is about nursing homes. This one is a common theme. This one I'm going to call it my man is your man, her. That's her man too. And if you know what I'm saying, you know, it's like, I don't know why, but all these bitches at the damn facility end up dating the same person. I'm like, why can't y'all find somebody else? Go out of town and date. There was this girl. It was a younger girl. I don't even have to give her a name as yet because I have bare stories about her. There's a younger girl. She's my friend. She always comes in every day and she's telling me like, oh, like 1 minute she's in love. Next minute she's like having issues. 3 minutes later she hates men. And she always do this. It was the same routine every time I would come into work. And I was PRN by the way, y'all. So that it meant like I have a minimum of like a day I may have to work for the month. But I didn't really have to come in like every day like somebody who's part-time or full-time would come in. I didn't put myself on a schedule often. But when I did, this girl, I don't know what it was with her. She would always have like an issue with men or whatever. So one day, there was this girl and she's like, I could call her puppy because she was just so lovesick like about her man. She loved her man to death. And so she's always here talking about her man does this and her man does that. But she started giving details about her man, which is kind of different, like something you can distinguish, like his pretty green eyes. Like she would say something like that. I don't remember what it was. There was like different things, but like I can't really use those markers. My man with his pretty green eyes. Oh my God, nobody rocks a Jerry curl like my man. Like she would just say like out of the way stuff about her man. Oh my God, only my man could drive a red truck. Like, have you ever seen my man drive a truck? It looks sexy, but don't tell me it looks sexy. I don't want you to agree. Like, she's the type of girl, like if something happened between her and her man, she would like literally crash out on the job for real. Because she has before. Anyways, I come in one night. So I come in at like, I think I actually came in an early night too. I came in like 7. So that's like 7 p.m. right after dinner or whatever. I came in, Puppy and the girl were there. So Puppy was there telling me how, oh yeah, you know, my man this, my man that. I'm like, oh girl, that's sweet. Cause you know, you're gonna have these girls. So you're gonna work with them. Just tell them, oh, that's cute. Move on about your life. So anyways, the other girl that I was telling you about that I have a lot of stories about, she comes in and she was like, she heard Puppy talking while Puppy was coming in. And she's like, what'd you say about, like, for example, like she would say, what did you say about a man wearing pink shirt, blue pants or whatever? She came in and she would say something like, did you say your man drives a blah, 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 blah? And she was like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, girl, we're doing good for ourselves. We're doing good for ourselves because my man drives a blah, 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 blah too. And me and the next girl, one who was sitting behind the nursing stations, because I don't know if y'all know, but that's just something we do as CNAs. We go sit behind the nursing station anytime. Like, so she was just sitting down. And when that girl said that, she looked up because at the time, the specific vehicle that she said, there was only like 3 people in our community that drove the freaking car. So it's like, when you're saying that, it's like whatever. But the Puppy, you know, she's kind of delusional, so she's not picking up on that. But then the girl behind the desk, she was ready for the shit. So she was like, oh yeah, girl, what color? And she'll be like, let me stick to the red. She's like, oh, red. He drives a red, blah, 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 blah. And then the girl would be, Puppy's like, oh my God, my man drives a red, blah, 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 too. And like, they're just going tit for tat. And none of these bitches are realizing that they're dating the same dude. And I think it only clicked in Puppy's mind. The girl ended up saying, oh, and girl, yeah, I just love him. I just love my pretty eyes man. Y'all, it literally wasn't the thing that would distinguish him from people, but it's like, you pretty much pick it up eventually. And well, not eventually, but you could pick it up. Just think of some feature that would make somebody stay. Like, she's like, girl, my man drives a blah, 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 and has those type of features or whatever. And she was like, oh yeah? And there she's like, yeah. And then she's like, are you dating, like, let's say Curtis? She's like, are you dating Curtis? She's like, yeah, I started talking to Curtis. I met him at the grocery store. And she was like, started crashing out, saying like, "Oh, he picked you up in he met you in a grocery store in my car." Yeah, so it's so weird. Like you're bragging on this man when girl, you are the desirable nigga because girl, how are you bragging about how this man drives a this, that, and the third when it's your car? Nobody even knew it was yours because we be dropping you off at work. Like in our cars, when you have a car, you're letting this man Alexa, cancel. When you're driving a car, you're letting this man drive a car. And you keep your car. Alexa, stop. So it's like you're driving, you're having us give you rides to work when you gave this man your car and now he's using it to pick up your coworkers. Like, how could he not know that the girl works at the same place? That was like a condensed version of that story, y'all. But I'm telling you, it goes down with those two because they like just always had drama. I don't know what it was about this damn facility. And then like the last story, I have a lot of stories like this, but y'all, oh my god, I don't know what it is. This, y'all, I say this all the time, but I don't know what it is. People will be demented. They'll forget their mom, their dad, their uncle, their cousin. They'll forget their whole entire family, where they grew up, what they used to do for work. But somehow these people never forget that they're racist. I don't understand. Y'all, I would have so many like racist encounters. Like the way like people used to try to like spit on us and mistreat us. Like they were just so racist. I swear, like I would like, you could literally have a racist person, you just walk in and you'd be like, hello. And I'll be like, oh, fuck you, nigger. Like it's crazy. Like, yeah, like just the racism, which I know I said 5 stories, but it's actually pretty much 4 actual stories, and one is just kind of like a topic because one is actually just a topic because I don't know what it is about these people. They were just like, the racism was insane, y'all. But yeah, those are my 5 little CNA topics and story times. Comment down below, let me know any CNA story times or nursing story times if you have any. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment on the video. Please like and share and comment or whatever. And like, just let me know. I'm gonna ask a question and I kind of want y'all to answer it in the box below. And this doesn't have to be for nurses. Like, what is one thing about your job that people don't know that would make them like lose their mind? Because I just think like every time I tell people like the stuff that I experienced as a CNA, they're like, there's no freaking way you like work that job, especially if you know me as a person, because I got like a tick tick boom personality. I am quick to go off the rocker. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. Love you, and I'll see you in the next video.